Alright, so it's Sunday, May 23rd, and I'm at the Sawmill trailhead in Lee Canyon, up in Mount Charleston. Early Sunday morning, about 7 a.m. I'm on the Mud Springs loop up through Mack's Canyon, M-A-C-K-S. And as you can see up there, it snowed 2 inches yesterday. We're at the end of May, and it was 50 degrees in Las Vegas. And it snowed 2 inches on the mountain. And it rained. At this elevation, I'm about 7,000 to 8,000 feet. So it snowed up there, but it rained down here, which is nice because the trail is not dusty, which is beautiful. As you can see, we have some beautiful, beautiful pinyon pine, scrub oak. We have some cacti. And it's just simply a beautiful morning, about 50 degrees. This trail leads you west out of the Sawmill parking lot, day use area, and it takes you out to Mack's Canyon Road, where the dirt road leads you up to a lot of dispersed camping. I try to get out here early in the morning before everybody wakes up and starts driving through the dirt road, even though because of the rain it's probably not going to be as dusty as it normally is. We can hope. But this is perfect hiking weather. I did this trail last weekend. It was very hot. But I'm hoping that today it's going to be nice and cool. I can't believe all of the snow that's up on Mummy Mountain. I'm sure it'll melt off with the snow and the high heat in the next week. Alright, I'll bring you back when I get to Mack's Canyon Road. I'm now on Mack's Canyon Road. The trail actually just pops out from the trees. And now we road walk for about 4 miles. Looks like yesterday's snow and rain wonderfully wetted down the road. As you can see, where the sun hasn't shone, there are still patches of snow, which means as I get closer to 8,000 feet in the high point of this trail, there's going to be a lot more. It's a welcome sight right before June, which is usually when the 100-degree temperatures reach Las Vegas Valley. And because I am still relatively low in elevation as far as the mountains are going, here the mountains are 10 to 12,000 feet, with Charleston Peak being 12,000 feet, or just below. I think it's 11,980 approximately. So you can see the views up here today are splendid. Oh. Alright, Mummy's Toes. Always beautiful crags, outcroppings up here. Alright, I'll bring you up later. After about 3 miles on the trail, you start getting really close to McFarland Peak, as you can see. And since I last filmed, it's getting pretty cloudy. So I'm keeping my fingers crossed that these clouds don't boom into thunderclouds and a rainstorm, because part of this hike is actually through a very narrow wash. I have yet to see one vehicle pass, and all the dispersed camping sites up here are empty. There's nobody up here. This is the last view close up that we're gonna have of McFarland Peak, because the trail is gonna turn north and it's gonna go behind these hills right over here. And there are some growing clouds, and I'm gonna hightail it out of here. Here we are here I am at the wash. It's about 1.5 miles of really, really sandy wash. And as you can see, the clouds are building, and I'm in a wash. And if you're not familiar with the desert, that's not a very good combo. The sand in here is wet, which tells me, yes, this was maybe not flooded, but it had water in it his last 2 days during the rain/snowstorm. Definitely somewhere you don't want to find yourself during flash flood season. It is definitely crazy, cool, beautiful, huge ponderosas. Huge ponderosas. And from the trail description that I read, numerous trail descriptions before I came out here, they said, oh, you should do this trail counterclockwise. And I don't know why. Because you'd be trudging up this trail, this wash, for 1.5 miles. And I don't know about you, but I don't like going uphill on a sandy wash. Ooh, another reason why you don't want to be out here during a storm, lightning. So, forgive me for my heavy breathing as I am again trying to book it out of this wash. I don't want to get caught out here. As you can see, there are steep hills on either side. Not very many places to go, except down the middle, away from the water, hopefully. It is beautiful. There are some seriously huge pines out here. So if you like what you've seen so far, you've checked out my other videos on my Trail Karen channel, please subscribe. I just hit 100 subscribers, and that's fantastic. I really didn't intend to make this to be a channel that people would follow necessarily. I did it more for keeping track of all my hikes and my backpacking trips, so I could look back and go, oh, look at all the crazy stuff I've done. But now it seems that a lot of people are really enjoying watching my crazy escapades. Some people would say that I'm crazy for hiking and backpacking alone. I would disagree with them. I have a Garmin InReach, and that to me doesn't make me do crazy things, because you shouldn't. If you think you're going to get hurt, don't do it. Don't hike or backpack out of your comfort zone. Be aware of where you're going. But having my Garmin really makes me and my loved ones sort of okay with me coming out by myself to places that have no cell phone service. And if you've checked out my other videos of me camping in my Honda Ridgeline truck, I go dispersed camping where there is no cell phone service. And it also helps to have the Garmin in those areas. So, whew, it's amazing when you're not out in the mountains and you come up to elevation, you really feel that decrease in oxygen a lot. Especially when you're racing down a wash like I am today. Kids, don't do what I do. If you come to the mountains, no matter what the weather says, bring a raincoat, rain jacket, hopefully a lightweight rain jacket. I have a beautiful 3-layer Patagonia rain jacket that's sitting back in my truck at the trailhead. Major fail, but I'm hoping that I'm wrong, because the sun just came out. So hopefully it will stay this way. Let me show you where I'm walking. There's a lot of dead trees out here. I'm going to assume a lot of these are from lightning strikes. But you can see the top of that ponderosa is kind of gnarled. I don't know if that's what fell. So no matter whether the sun is out or not, thunderstorms can pop up within 10 minutes. Up in elevation, on trail, up in the mountains. 1 minute, you could be hiking, happy, carefree, and the next minute, you hear this loud rumble, and it shakes you to the core, and you think, oh, it. Yeah. And that's when you start running. And when you start running, you could hurt yourself, twisting your ankle on a rock, on a root, from a tree. And then good luck getting down off that mountain. By the way, the sun was short-lived, because that cloud is really dark. As you're hightailing it down this wash, watch for this trail cairn. And somebody left a few sticks in the wash, and you'll notice the trail very faintly pulls off to your right. It starts going up, and if you don't pull off the trail, you will continue following the wash all the way down, and you will have to turn around and come back. And that's going to be a difficult hike. So again, I recommend hiking this trail clockwise. Clockwise meaning leaving the trailhead, going towards Mack's Canyon Road first. That gets the road walk out of the way before there's any road traffic on that dirt road, which will probably not be wonderfully compacted down from rainwater the day before. I was lucky enough to have that today. And for the most part, this trail is not really very dusty, which is nice. I pulled off the trail to have a little break, take a snack, eat a snack. And I just want to show you a quick peek of my Black Diamond Ergo cork trekking poles. Trail Ergo. They've been the best ones I've had so far. I do recommend them. And look what I found out here. That is a vertebrae. Probably a coyote. See, it's too small. It's too small to be deer, unless it's a fawn. It is eerily silent out here. There's no wind. No rain, no rain. So I'm taking a break. And I'm gonna have a snack. There's my Osprey backpack. Love this day pack. Wonderful. I also have the 3-liter bladder. I don't use any of that when I backpack. It's too heavy. But for day hikes, it comes in very handy. All right, let me finish my break and we'll get back on the trail. The Mud Springs Loop Trail junctions with the Pinyon Pine Trail. Right in front of this big juniper tree, big pinyon pine. You can see these rocks. Do not go to the left. Make sure you veer off to the right as you are heading back to the trailhead. So you're going to be going west. And that was the second push to a high point on the trail. The first high point was off Mack's Canyon Road. The second one is up here. As you can see, down there, literally that parking lot is where my trusty ridgeline awaits. But I gotta make a big wide arc before I get down there. And look at that beautiful snowed in mountain. Yeah, a lot of that snow fell Friday and Saturday. There was a big snowstorm up here. It rained in the lower elevations and it snowed up there. And it's beautiful. Probably in a couple weeks, most of it will be melted. Look at that. That's beautiful. And all the way up there is Deer Springs Road. You can see it cutting through the mountain. And that's Mummy Mountain, or Mummy's Toes, as they say. And this has turned out to be a beautiful day. There's no one out here. It's nice and cool. Probably in the 50s, which is rare this time of year. And you can see McFarland Peak peeking out above that ridge. pretty much from here on out, the trail goes down and it ends up going all the way. There's, I don't know if you can see Mack's Canyon Road down there, the dirt road that I started my trail this morning. The views up here are expansive, amazing. Towards the end of this trail, make sure you don't veer off to the left. Again, keep going right. Here's a pretty decent wash. You're gonna cross. We're back in the juniper, pinyon pine, desert shrubs. The birds are out in force today. Sure is beautiful. It's partly cloudy, overcast. This section is heavily wooded with pinyon pine and juniper. And since we're getting closer to Lee Canyon Road, traffic noise is going to be on your left-hand side. We're currently walking west towards Mack's Canyon Road, dirt road. But pretty soon the trail is going to veer off to the left, and we're going to circle around back to the trailhead. There's a lot of washes out here because when the rains hit the mountain, it all comes rushing down here. So make sure that if it's going to be a monsoon rain day, I would suggest you not hike this trail.